This Sunday, the Timbers welcome the LA Galaxy to a boiling Providence Park. Welcome back, new and returning viewers, to yet another match preview video. And today we're going to be looking at the Portland Timbers versus LA Galaxy, a bit of a West Coast rivalry. They both plan to meet at Providence Park, at boiling Providence Park, this Sunday. And as per usual with these match preview videos, I'm going to be talking about the Portland Timbers squad, who's available, who's not, the Timbers 11 that I'd like to see make the field, and LA Galaxy, who they have out of selection and their current form. Before I properly begin the video, I just want to inform you guys of a kickoff time change that's happening for this game due to the intense heat in Portland at the moment. I'm sure you already know, but the game was set to kick off originally at 1 PM Portland time, but it's now being changed back to 11 AM, so basically a brunch kickoff in Portland due to the heat. So yeah, make sure you drink plenty of water if you're going to the game. So let's crack on and look at the Timbers players that aren't available for Sunday's game. So I've actually done quite a bit of researching to find out which players are completely unavailable and which ones are questionable. So the ones that are definitely out for this game are Akugo, Farfan, Chance Myers and Arakoyo, who I said I wouldn't mention, but I might as well throw them in there anyway. And the players that are kind of questionable are Ridgewell, Mattox and Aspria. So those players on the questionable list have been training with the first team this week. They're kind of lacking match fitness or match sharpness, and that's specifically aimed at Liam Ridgewell, who's been out for a couple of months now, or 2 months I think it has been. And yeah, it's aimed at him, and Caleb Porter openly said in the press conference, if he is fit, then he'll definitely be going into the team. As you know, at the end of the day, he's the captain of the team before the season, or before he got injured. Valeri's kind of been taking that as a vice captain. And Ridgewell is one of our best defenders. He's a good leader. He's good on the ball. So I'll have to wait and see if Ridgewell is fit, because I'm sure if he will be, then he will be starting. The only player that I'm kind of unsure completely about is Darren Aspria. Porter got asked about it in the press conference, but didn't actually answer the question. He didn't even address it. I don't think he really heard it. So I'm not really too sure what Aspria or the situation with him is at the moment. I remember he got injured in, I think it was the Vancouver game. He injured his ankle, so didn't feature against Houston. So I'm not sure he's going to feature in this game anyway. Now let's take a closer look at the LA Galaxy and see how they've been doing recently and the players that aren't available for this game. Now, the best way to describe LA Galaxy and their season so far is by using the famous Forrest Gump quote. They're like a box of chocolates, you never know which one you're going to get. I say this because the Galaxy have been very inconsistent with their performances and their results over the course of the season. At home, I think they've only won 1 game all season and lost about 5 or 6, and away from home they've won 5, so they're actually doing better away from home than they are at their own place. They've recently hit a really bad run of form. They're winless in their last 6 games, and they actually head to Providence Park on Sunday, trying to avoid their 3rd away straight defeat since 2013. Their last result was a bit more positive, however. They drew 0-0 at home to the Seattle Sounders. Could have gone either way, to be honest. They didn't really create too many chances, and they certainly didn't look like scoring them. They have top 4 players in the attack. They don't really look like scoring at the minute. They just don't seem to have that cutting edge. Alessandrini, I say, is their biggest threat, with Zardes up top as well. And Dos Santos, I mean, they're good players on paper, but this season they really haven't been firing. I think their top scorer is Alessandrini on 8, and then Dos Santos on 6. Zardes hasn't really been scoring at all, and Dos Santos you'd expect better, but he's kind of been away on international duty quite a bit, so he's been missing a lot of games. So it'll be interesting to see how that attacking four, which attacking four will show up in Portland, if they can show up and convert any chances that they get. I think LA are really missing the 2 big players that left at the end of last season. That's Robbie Keane and Steven Gerrard. You know, Gerrard is really that creator in the midfield and often would pop up with goals. And Robbie Keane was that just clinical finisher. You could guarantee probably 10 to 15 goals plus per season. So they're really missing them 2 players this season. And I must mention that they've actually recently got rid of their old coach and replaced him with former Seattle Sounders manager Ziggy Schmidt. This isn't Ziggy's first time with LA Galaxy. He once had a spell there a couple of years ago when they were really being dominant in the MLS, and he won an MLS Cup with them. So he's a very good coach. He's a coach with a proven track record, but I've heard he's a very feisty coach as well. A lot of previous members of staff that worked with him have said that. So it'll be interesting to see if the Timbers can kind of wind him up and wind the LA players up, or they can do the same to the Timbers players, specifically Addy. I mean, these games often end up being pretty feisty, so we'll have to wait and see. One key player for LA that is definitely out this game, and a player that likes to cause a lot of trouble on the pitch, is Van Dam, the centre-back of LA. Plays a lot of games, often starts or would be starting, and I remember him having a bit of trouble with Fernando Addy earlier on in the season, or last season, so it will be, well, it's very good on our side that he's not playing. He is a very good defender, and he often gets under the skin of Addy, so thankfully he's out on suspension, and it should make it maybe a little bit easier for the Timbers to get through the LA defence. Their newest signing, Jonathan Dos Santos, the brother of Giovanni Dos Santos, is actually available for this game. I doubt he'll start. He wasn't available in the Seattle game, but yeah, he probably won't start, maybe on the bench and come on. He is a midfielder, so who knows for LA, looking for the creativity, the chemistry link between the two brothers of Jonathan and Giovanni. So let's take a moment to compare the two teams, and we'll start by looking at the Western Conference. LA Galaxy currently sit in 9th position, having played 2 games less than the Timbers and have 23 points. The Timbers sit in 4th position, having played 23 games and have 31 points. You know, we're really trying to cement a position above the playoff line, whereas LA Galaxy are trying to get a bit of a late push into the playoffs. I mentioned earlier LA Galaxy's form, but putting it side by side with the Timbers, you can really see how we've been pretty solid recently. You know, quite a few draws and a win in there, a good win recently, and our draw against Houston and Vancouver. They've been very good results and fantastic performances with a lot of injuries and players away on international duty. So yeah, it shows that Timbers are the informed team going into this game. We have less players out, would you believe it, than LA in this game. And yeah, LA are really just not in good form at the minute, and I think it's going to be a very tough game for them in Sunday in the heat at Providence Park. I also touched upon the scorers for LA. I mean, if we look at them here, you've got their top scorers, Alessandrini on 8, Dos Santos 6, Steres on 3, and then we've got us with Blanco on 5, Addy on 10, and Valeri on 11. It just shows, you know, we've got some consistent goal scorers then, in there, and we've got some consistent creators of goals as well. Blanco, Valeri, Nagby as well, and we've got the finishers. So I think going into this end of the season playoff run, we have a very good chance if we can just be defensively solid at the back, and going forward we just look so dangerous. So I'm very confident going into this game, and I think we're going to score goals. Overall, however, it's a different story. The Timbers have only won 5 games, Galaxy have won 7, and there's been 5 draws. At Providence Park, however, the Timbers have won 3 games, Galaxy 2, and 2 draws. Swiftly moving on to the team that I would like to see start at Providence Park on Sunday. Going through the defence, in goal we've got Gleeson, right back Powell, Ridgewell and Mabiala, and then Vitas left back. So I'll begin by talking about the right back position and how I've gone for Powell over Valentin. Although, you know, I've said recently that Valentin has done very well in the recent performances covering for Powell, and I think that he deserved to keep his place. I've kind of changed my mind because I was looking at LA Galaxy and their match highlights, and their left winger, Emmanuel Boateng, he's very small and he's very fast, and I think he would be better suited against Alvas Powell. I think Alvas Powell would be able to do him on pace and in strength. So I think that that's a matchup that we'd be able to win, well, or have a higher chance of winning with Powell in the right back position based on physicality and things like that. And I don't think, what I've seen of Boateng, he's not the most technical player. He's just very fast and can put a good ball into the box, but he's not amazing with the ball at his feet. So I think they're going to try and play through balls to him, and I think that Powell is the best player with his speed to beat Boateng in that right back position. Next is that centre back partnership. Now, like Caleb Porter, I think if Ridgewell is fit, I think he should start. He's our captain, and in my opinion, he is one of our best defenders. I think he can have his lapse in concentration, his moments of poor play, but as does everyone, specifically Powell. But, you know, I think that Ridgewell is one of our best defenders. He's got good experience, and I think he's a leader that sometimes we've been missing. Although Borchers is one of the best defenders that I've seen wear a Timbers jersey, I think Ridgewell comes fairly close with his experience. And, you know, I could have gone with Olum next to him, or Miller, or someone like that, but I've decided to go for Mabiala because I really like what I've seen of Mabiala so far. I think he's done fantastic, you know, for a guy that hasn't really played in quite some time before starting at the Timbers. He's come in with a squad that's kind of depleted, and he's done very well. He's held his own. He looks very composed on the ball. He seems to do very well defensively. I think I highlighted it last game, however, in the post-match recap, that he needs to talk a bit more. Maybe there was a bit of a mistake between him and Gleeson when Gleeson kind of flapped at the ball. Maybe he does need to talk a bit more, but that will come as he gets more experience in the MLS. But I think these two could be a very good partnership in the defence. Now at left back, thankfully we have Vitas back to full fitness, or Caleb Porter said he is in full fitness and he'll be there for selection, and I don't think that he will choose Miller over him, and certainly I wouldn't. I think Miller is a bit too slow for that wing back position, and Vitas is the perfect player for it. You know, he's got speed, he's tall, he can defend set pieces, he can go forward as well, put some great balls into the box, so Vitas every day. Moving on to the centre defensive mids, Diego Chara and David Guzman, not a lot has to be said, so I'm just going to move on. Into the attacking four, on the right we have Nagby in the centre, Valeri, left Blanco, and then up top Addy. So I've gone with this top 4 as I think it's the most dangerous and lethal, specifically on the counter-attack. We've got the pace of Nagbe, I wouldn't say the pace of Valeri or Addy, but Blanco is not too slow for a little guy. He has got some speed behind him, but they're all just such creative players that are so good with the ball at their feet. And I think that they can just create goals from nothing really. Specifically Blanco at the minute, he is coming to fine form and he's really contesting to be one of the top Giovincos in the league. So it's going to be interesting how he can hopefully stay fit towards the end of the season and really kick on as a Timbers player going into the playoffs, and certainly next season I'm expecting big things from him if we can keep him, which I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do. But then up top I have gone with Addy over Ebobisse, but you can see Ebobisse underneath him. I would like to see him come on again at maybe the 60th, 70th minute mark. Like I said, it's going to be very hot in Portland, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so the early substitutions will be key. I'm not going to mention or go into the other subs that I'd like to see, but definitely Ebobisse on at the 60th minute mark or something like that, and perhaps Matux, but yeah, certainly Ebo. Like to see him turn the defence and cause them problems like he did in Houston. I'm not going to talk about the foul that was given, that shouldn't have been, but anyway, Ebo's a dangerous player. That attack in general is very dangerous. Lastly, moving on to my score prediction, and I'm going to say this pretty quick and confidently, I think we're going to win 3-1. We've got the home advantage, our attack is very dangerous, and I think we've got our strong defence finally back after some time. Hopefully even with Ridgewell coming back, possibly that will still stay strong, and a couple of players returning from injury. But I just think that the LA Galaxy, specifically without Van Damme in centre-back, they're really going to be lacking that leader. I mean, I know they've got Ashley Cole left-back, but I really think we can cause some damage, especially in the attack. But, LA are a good team away from home, and I don't suspect that they won't really come at us and give us a good go, specifically with their attacking pace and ability. So yeah, I definitely think they're going to score, but I think we're going to come out overall winners, and I'm just going to go for 3-1. I should also touch upon and let you guys know the fact that I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks coming Saturday. I'm leaving with my family to go on a bit of a vacation to the seaside here in the UK, so the videos won't be coming at you guys as thick and fast as they have been. Now the Timbers are playing obviously on Sunday at 7 PM my time. The kickoff kind of put back has helped me in a favour because it's on earlier for me, so hopefully be able to go to bed at a good time, a reasonable time. But it also means that I should be able to find it on at a pub because it's being broadcasted on Sky Sports here, which most pubs up and down the country have. So fingers crossed they'll have it in one pub. If they don't, I'm going to ask that they can put it on. I'll buy 5-6 pints. I just want to watch the game, and I'll be out in Cromer where I'm going with my Timbers jersey on. And Richard Clark on Twitter actually asked me if I could do a match day vlog possibly, talking about if I have any, routines that I do during the day. So I'm considering doing that. Would you guys like to see it? Let me know in the comments or give the video a like. I'm considering doing it possibly, just to build up to the game, going into the pub, and then a bit of a post-match recap, not to the kind of the editing quality that I have been doing them recently, but maybe just walking along the beach, talking about the game, my opinions, and then just uploading it to YouTube. Nothing special, but a match recap for you guys. But yeah, over the next 2 weeks, I'm not too sure if I will be doing some match previews and other match recaps. I think specifically for this LA game, I probably will, because I've done this match preview. But yeah, I probably won't do that. Look at my Twitter if you haven't followed me already, and I do a lot of updates on there about the content that I'm releasing. Sorry if this video seems a little bit rushed, guys. In about 10 minutes, I'll have to leave for my job as a waiter. So, I've kind of had to cram this all in a short period of time. So I've spoken pretty quickly at times, so apologies for that. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. And let me know in the comments below any opinions you have on the game happening Sunday or my squad selection. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you get alerted for the videos that I release on the Portland Timbers. All the support I've had recently, again, I'm going to say it, it's been amazing. So thank you all for that. It keeps me so motivated to make these videos, and I really do enjoy it. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.